Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cancer, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general reads. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you've got the Hermit card. Now if you haven't seen the weekly general, please check it out. The reason I say this is because the card that came out as the destiny card or the overarching energy was the Hermit card, which means in some way, shape or form this week you have your finger on the pulse. You are ready, Cancer, right? You've got your, now the thing with Cancerians anyway, you tend to read stuff really well because of the whole psychic connection and all the rest of it, right? And we are, especially at the end of this week, we're heading in towards your full moon. You get one full moon per sign per year. Usually. Last year we had 2 in Aquarius, but you know, for the most part, it's just the one. Now, I believe personally that when you have the full moon, when you've got a full moon in your sign, you get to make a wish. All right. So and obviously in some way, shape or form, this is putting a spotlight on you. It's highlighting you in some way, shape or form. So use this to your advantage, form a wish, send it out into the universe. All right. Just one. It can't be, oh, I hope that this and this and like, you know, 3 wishes in one. None of that stuff. The universe is smarter than all of us. One specific wish, whatever it is that you want, focus on that thing, and around the full moon, speak to Luna, she'll deliver. Now, with that said, you got this Hermit card as your key to the week, right? There may be a thread, there may be a sound, there may be a frequency, there might be an energy this week that only you can hear. You have to trust yourself on this one, right? Aside from all of its other traditional meanings, this card speaks to trust of self, right? The star card, and in the magician, in the Hermit's lantern is the star on the star card. The difference being is the star card shows us how to have trust in everything and the universe and, you know, everyone in it. Whereas the Hermit card shows us how to have trust in the self, right? So this week, like I said, there's going to be a message, a frequency, an idea, a feeling. Not everybody's going to get this, if anybody, right? But there's something that you are listening to very deeply that you can hear. Follow that, right? Follow that, because that's your true north this week. Now, for those of you that are continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit that subscribe button. All right, so for the actions and options this week, we get the Knight of Cups, right? So this may be an opportunity that presents itself this week, right? It may be that you have an opportunity to present somebody else with, that this could, you know, maybe you want a collaboration. It's not ready yet because you've got the Hermit card. So this is something that you're working on behind the scenes. It's not quite ready, but this Knight of Cups is suggesting that you are working on something, you know, in the background, right? There's something that you're working on. It may be about a collaboration, it may be about a partnership of some sort, but whatever it is, you are preparing this right now. Now, the fact that you've got this Knight of Cups here as well, for some of you this week, if there's somebody that you like, if there's somebody that you've got your eye on, this is the week to shoot your shot, right? Go for it. You've got the Knight of Cups, which means you are giving the declaration, you are offering the opportunity. And I gotta be honest with you, it feels like it's solid. I think in a lot of ways this is you preparing something. It's not quite that it's ready to go with right now, but it is, you know, this is you getting it prepared in some way, shape or form. But certainly for those of you that are single and looking to mingle, this may very well be the week where, you know, if you shoot your shot, you may very well get the answer that you hope for. Now, for your communications and conversations, you have the Temperance card. Very interesting that this would come underneath the Hermit, right? Both of these are deeply spiritual cards. The Temperance card as a communications card, this is about remedial action, right? So this could be maybe, especially because you've got this Knight of Cups, we start to get a bit of a bigger picture now. Maybe there's an apology that you need to deliver to somebody. Maybe there's something that you want to ask for, but you know you're going to have to give something in order to gain it. This, you know, especially for some of you, this might be that you're hoping to gain somebody's trust for something that you're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to align with something or someone. So yeah, really for me, this feels like maybe this week, Cancer, you are giving an apology. Maybe you are taking some form of remedial action. And I actually think that's the best way to go, especially if this feels like something that you should be doing on that deeper level of self, right? Because the Temperance card, yes, it's all about alignment, but it's also about healing. And we're talking about your communications here. So this is about healing some form of your communication or some sort of connection that you have or had or want to have, right? Now, when it comes to employment, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, one way that this might show up this week, an idea that you had previously put forward that was shot down, somebody may use that idea this week, right? And it's like one of those, you know, like when you do something and someone's like, oh no, I don't think that'll work. And then when they notice that actually it was a really good idea, they decide to slot it in for themselves. I would say this week, do call them on it, absolutely, but find a way to, like, if it's your boss, obviously be respectful, because we ain't out here right in the beginning of 2022 trying to be fired, you get me? So, you know, think about the, you know, temper the way that you use your words with this person. But yeah, I would go for it. I would call it out when you see it. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, etc., people that work for themselves, I mean, one of the ways that this might show up for you is that some personal piece of wisdom that maybe you had previously shelved or benched might now suddenly start to become relevant. And this happens sometimes. Funnily enough, I've got stuff written down in my notes on my phone, voice notes, things that I've written down on paper that haven't become relevant or pertinent to what I do until sometimes up to 3 years later. So this is why I say, whatever these threads are, these sounds, these frequencies, these intuitions that you're getting this week, only you are understanding them, right? So don't fret. And like I said, there might be something now that you're ready to bring back into the business or into your work that suddenly becomes relevant. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, I mean, I often encourage people that are not working or people that can't work or people that have retired to do that deeper work, right? To do that spiritual work. But this, if I'm honest with you, it does feel like some sort of remedial action for you guys as well. It's almost like maybe you can see a rift forming in the family. Maybe there is something that you are ready now to lay to rest. Maybe there is maybe you've got a decision here that you're kind of thinking, you know what? I don't want to continue this way. So if it means I have to be the bigger person to squash this shit, then you know what? No problem. I will do it. Excuse my language. You know Rafi got that potty mouth. All right, for your love and relations, you have the Moon card, right? So you got this underneath that Knight of Cups. One of the things that I would like to say to you here, remember the Moon card doesn't see us seeing things sort of clearly all of the time. So for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, whatever you're suggesting this week, right, it may get lost in translation. Now, remember, at the end of this week, Mercury is going to go retrograde. On top of that, we already have Venus retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, which is opposing your sign personally, and is actually at this point, I'm just thinking, well, no, not until right at the end, but it's, you know, we've got that full moon as well, which is in your sign. So expect things to be a little bit terse at the end of this week when it comes to the partnerships, the relationships. It's nothing that you can't handle. It's nothing that you can't solve. It just is going to need a little bit more tact than usual, right? Now, for those of you that are single, like I said, I definitely feel, even still with the Moon card, I definitely feel that it's it's that week to shoot your shot. Like, I think you could get some really good results with it. The challenge that you might face with this, you might end up realizing that, you know what, like once you, it's kind of like that, you know, that pair of jeans or whatever, like that you buy and you're like, oh, I've wanted this for ages. And then when you get it, you're like, oh, it's not actually that great, right? This might be that kind of energy. It's not to say, I'm sure they're a wonderful person, but it may be, and especially for those of you that are in like new relationships as well, it may be that that person, you sort of see them in a different light now, and you say, actually, you know what, maybe in my mind it was more, or you know, whatever. Remember that moon card has a nebulous kind of energy to it. Now, for your money and materials, you've got the death card, so don't panic. What I see here, first of all, we got a lot of major card energy, right? So when this happens in a reading, it tends to be that a lot of what's taking place at that moment in time in the client's life or in your life as you're watching this, there's a lot of fate behind it, right? And you know, you guys know me, I don't really use that term too often because it scares people, and then they start thinking, oh well, you know, that's it, I have to, you know, I defer to the universe and I've got no choice. That's not the truth. We are always in co-creation with the universe, so we get to choose, right? But you've got this death card here underneath the temperance card, underneath the hermit. That is some sort of remedial action, remedial course of action taken to do with your finances, to do with your money, your resources, how you make money. For some of you, this could be a revenue stream starts to disappear. For some of you, this could be a new one that you're bringing back into the fold. Remember, the death card is usually about conscious choice or decision. So maybe this is you. I mean, for some of you, maybe you're deciding, right, this is the year that I get myself out of debt. This is the year that I, you know, stop paying for stuff for other people who don't appreciate it, or, you know, just close the purse and cut the purse strings for a while. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the death card, especially because it's underneath the temperance card, this could be some sort of challenge or issue with the reproductive system. It could just as easily be with the intestines, the colon, and the bowels, right? So, and I'm not a doctor, I can't give you medical advice, but if you have any challenges or issues with anything like that this week, I would advise you to go and see a doctor, all right? With that said, when it comes to your home and environment, this could be, for some of you, this could be the week, and I've said this to Cancer, Leo, Pisces, and Capricorn. Those 4 signs have had movement energy for like literally the last year and a half, more than any other sign. So this might be a week for some of you where you decide, actually, you know what, this place, this space, this energy, this environment, it's no longer working for me. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.